this day our daily bread, and to the republic for which it stands. And with that very questionable blessing, dinner is officially served. If that line instantly transported you back to the early 1990s, you're not alone. In 1992, Disney released a movie that sounded absolutely unhinged on paper. A lounge singer on the run from the mob hides inside a convent, turns a choir into a Motown-inspired hit machine, and somehow saves the day with soul music and sequins. And yet, Sister Act didn't just work. It became one of the biggest hits of the year. The film stars Whoopi Goldberg as Dolores Van Cartier, a sharp-tongued Reno lounge singer whose life flips upside down when she witnesses her mobster boyfriend, Vince LaRocca, played by Harvey Keitel, commit murder. Dolores doesn't willingly run to a convent for safety. The detectives handling her case force her into hiding for her own protection, and she is very much not happy about it. Her reluctant safe house is a struggling San Francisco convent where her street-smart personality immediately clashes with the strict and no-nonsense Mother Superior, memorably played by Maggie Smith. What starts as a culture clash slowly turns into a transformation. Dolores takes one look at the convent's painfully off-key choir and decides to intervene. With her musical instincts, she reshapes them into a gospel-infused, Motown-flavored powerhouse. Along the way, the film introduces unforgettable supporting characters, including the endlessly enthusiastic Sister Mary Patrick, played by Kathy Najimy, and the painfully shy Sister Mary Robert, portrayed by Wendy McKenna. Together, they turn quiet Sunday services into standing-room-only events. Today, we are diving into 15 weird facts about Sister Act. But before we do, take a second to like and subscribe, because somewhere out there is a Sister Act VHS that never got rewound, and this channel exists for people who remember that pain. Now, let's jump in. Believe it or not, Sister Act almost starred Bette Midler. Back in 1987, screenwriter Paul Rudnick wrote the lead role specifically for her, originally naming the character Terry Van Cartier. Disney was fully on board, and Jeffrey Katzenberg personally reached out, more than once. But Midler kept turning it down for one very specific reason. She didn't want to wear a nun's habit. Her concern was simple. Her fans didn't want to see her in a wimple. When she passed, Disney scrambled. Madonna was considered. Cher was discussed. Tracey Ullman was also in the mix. The script was rewritten so many times it felt less like development and more like casting roulette. Then Whoopi Goldberg stepped in, put on the habit, and completely owned the role. Years later, Midler openly admitted she made a mistake, saying Whoopi wore that role all the way to the bank. Considering the movies earned hundreds of millions worldwide, that habit came with some serious blessings. While shaping the story, Paul Rudnick tried to ground it in reality by researching real convent life. He was especially fascinated by Mother Dolores Hart, a former Hollywood actress who gave Elvis Presley his first on-screen kiss in 1957's Loving You. By 1963, she was one of the brightest young stars in Hollywood. Then she walked away from fame entirely to enter a cloistered Benedictine monastery in Connecticut. Rudnick even visited the abbey, spending 2 days absorbing the rhythm of monastic life, though he never actually met her. Her story helped shape the film's DNA, a glamorous performer trading the spotlight for something entirely different. Decades later, when the Sister Act Broadway musical was in development, Mother Dolores finally met one of the actresses playing Mother Superior and offered one piece of advice: don't make her pious. God wants humanity, not perfection. To this day, she remains the only nun who is also a voting member of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Production itself was chaos. Once Whoopi Goldberg signed on, Disney gave the writers just 2 weeks to rewrite the entire script around her voice and style. That wasn't nearly enough time. Filming began anyway, even though major scenes hadn't been written yet. Multiple writers, including Nancy Meyers and Robert Harling, were brought in during production to patch things together. When the dialogue still wasn't working, Whoopi called in her own secret weapon, Carrie Fisher. Fisher served as an uncredited script doctor, punching up dialogue and making Dolores feel authentic and grounded. Meanwhile, the original writer, Paul Rudnick, felt the story had drifted so far from his vision that he asked to be credited under a pseudonym. Somehow, despite the disorder, everything came together. Kathy Najimy's performance as Sister Mary Patrick came from an unexpected source. She once watched Mary Hart on Entertainment Tonight deliver an aggressively cheerful segment and immediately thought, "That's it. That's my nun." That uncontainable enthusiasm became the heartbeat of the character, pure joy with just enough edge to avoid becoming a cartoon. One of the film's most touching arcs belongs to Sister Mary Robert, the quiet nun who eventually finds her voice. While Wendy McKenna delivered the emotional performance, the singing voice audiences here actually belongs to vocalist Andrea Robinson, a studio powerhouse frequently used when Hollywood needs flawless vocals. Whoopi Goldberg, however, did all of her own singing. Every lounge number, every choir lead, every big moment was her real voice, trained extensively for the role. Despite the film's feel-good tone, Whoopi's relationship with Disney was strained by the end. When Sister Act hit theaters, she refused to promote it at all.
No interviews.
No press tour. And yet, the movie exploded anyway. Word of mouth carried it to massive success, and the soundtrack spent over a year on the Billboard charts. Off-camera, the cast caused their own kind of mischief. Kathy Najimy and Wendy McKenna once ordered wine and fries to their hotel room in full nun habits and staged a prank for room service that ended with a lost $100 bet. During filming in Reno, cast members were frequently spotted gambling, drinking, and smoking in costume, confusing and delighting unsuspecting casino guests. After the film's success, Whoopi Goldberg became the highest-paid actress in Hollywood. For Sister Act 2, she reportedly earned between $7 and $12 million, putting her in the same pay bracket as the biggest male stars of the era. She used that leverage to secure U.S. distribution for Sarafina, a project studios had previously rejected, proving she understood exactly how power worked in Hollywood. The music itself became legendary. Composer Mark Sharaman transformed pop and doo-wop classics into gospel showstoppers. The soundtrack spent 54 weeks on the Billboard 200 and eventually went gold. The cultural impact was so strong that Whoopi and the cast even performed in full costume at live events later that year. Harvey Keitel had an especially strange 1992. The same year, he played a mobster chasing a nun-disguised girlfriend in a Disney comedy. He also starred in Bad Lieutenant, one of the darkest films of the decade. 2 nun movies. 1 year. Completely opposite tones. The legacy continued on Broadway in 2011, earning Tony nominations and launching Patna Miller's career. When the show moved to London's West End, Whoopi Goldberg returned, this time as Mother Superior. Of course, the movie isn't perfect. The nuns technically wear the wrong habits. Witness protection would never hide someone in a convent, let alone put them on television. And yes, Disney faced multiple lawsuits from people claiming they invented the idea of singing nuns. None of them succeeded. But logic was never the point. Sister Act works because it commits fully to its absurdity. It's unrealistic, chaotic, and completely joyful. And that's why it still holds up. So there you have it. 15 weird facts about Sister Act. Let us know which one surprised you the most, and what movie we should cover next. Until then, be kind, and rewind.